When my wife and I accepted a temporary relocation to a quiet suburban neighborhood as part of our federal evaluation assignment, we expected nothing more than a few months of boring paperwork, some unremarkable interactions, and a peaceful rental stay. What we didn't expect was Karen. From the moment we moved in, Karen, our nosy next-door neighbor, was locked onto us like a heat-seeking missile. She must have assumed we were just another young couple taking up space in her cul-de-sac kingdom. She was wrong. See, my wife and I both work in an internal federal oversight division that performs unannounced audits on public and private sector employees tied to government contracts. It's not glamorous work, but it is powerful. And Karen? She worked for a federal subcontractor whose ethics division was under review. She didn't know it, but we were her review team. Karen's first strike. It started with small complaints. She left notes about our car, blocking her sunlight, in the shared driveway, said we were too quiet to be trusted, yes, seriously, and even accused us of running a spy operation when we installed a Ring camera. Ironically, she was right, just not the kind of spy she imagined. Then came the real escalation. One morning, my wife got a call from her agency's HR liaison. Apparently, an anonymous tip had come in accusing us both of abusing our positions, threatening neighbors, and misrepresenting federal authority. The complaint was long, dramatic, and weirdly specific. We didn't need Sherlock Holmes to figure out who made it. A critical detail. The twist came when we received our case assignment updates. My wife opened the file, glanced over the name, and smirked. Guess who's listed under my ethics evaluation roster? She turned her screen toward me. Karen, full name, department, employer, clearance status, everything. I nearly choked on my coffee. Turns out Karen was a mid-level compliance coordinator at a federal subcontractor, flagged for multiple internal conduct violations over the past year. She had recently been warned for hostile workplace behavior and possible falsification of logs. Now she had filed a complaint against her evaluators, and she had no idea. Time for the visit. A week later, we scheduled our formal, in-person evaluation with Karen's department. We didn't need to explain our roles to her just yet. We simply requested access to her work logs and digital behavior records. When Karen walked into the compliance room and saw both of us seated with government laptops, her face drained. "You," she stammered, barely keeping it together. What are you doing here?" I calmly introduced us by name and division. "We're conducting a field ethics audit on behalf of the Federal Oversight Committee. Your department was selected. You, specifically, are part of our evaluation pool." Karen turned red. This has to be a conflict of interest." I slid her formal complaint, submitted under her real name, across the table. "You mean this?" I said, unfazed. "Don't worry. We've already disclosed everything to legal. We're still authorized to proceed." The outcome. After 2 days of review, we compiled our findings. Karen had indeed falsified several log entries and attempted to delete messages that were under preservation hold, something that alone was enough to trigger internal review. But more concerning was her attempt to abuse the federal whistleblower system to retaliate against people she simply didn't like. Her false report against us was not only petty, it violated federal statutes about malicious reporting and interference with an ongoing investigation. The final report recommended disciplinary action and mandatory retraining, with her security clearance suspended pending review. The ironic goodbye. Back at home, Karen avoided eye contact completely. She no longer glared at us from her porch, and the handwritten complaint notes stopped. Before we left for our next assignment, I spotted her watching us from behind her curtains. I gave a small wave. She ducked away. Funny how she tried to get us fired, without realizing we held her professional future in our hands the entire time.